Welcome back, you guys. We're getting ready to get started on Unit 5 on mastering Messenger. And man, there's a lot to know about Messenger, so I'm excited.
Cool. It's cool. Messenger is so powerful. And we want to start this thing off by bringing on Kim and Travis Hall. They are out of Florida. They're elite distributors with us and one of the early adopters to what's going on in social media, definitely in our team and company. They've done a lot of the homework and are seeing a lot of success already with their system within social media. And Messenger is it's like the golden egg to me. Like it's where it's happening. It's where it's at. And so we thought it would be necessary that you hear from them this morning. So Kim, Travis, thanks for being on. What do you guys think about Messenger?
Absolutely love Messenger. There's some really smart people on Facebook that came up with that thing, way smarter than I am, but I'm taking advantage of it. We're taking advantage of it because it is such a convenient way to not only connect with people, but to stay in touch with people. And to say what I mean by convenient, I can do it on my time and they can do it on their own time as well. And so people have different schedules. I have a busy schedule running another company, but at the same time, you know, if I want to connect with them, I can send a message and then it might be right away that they respond back, or it might be hours or even days later that they respond back, but we're able to connect and have a conversation going.
So for me, it was just a treasure because of my time. I'm very busy. And so I'm able to actually pay attention to who's up at the top of Messenger. You can actually see who's online at that point in time, who's using it. And you're able to reach out and just say a quick hello to somebody. You're able to kind of check their profile and see what's been going on with them so that you can actually create that conversation. So I found that we've got a toolbox right now of just a treasure chest. So as far as how Messenger goes, Messenger has been very easy for me at night if we're just sitting around doing nothing, you know how that happens sometimes, and you're able to start connecting with people just by saying hello.
And it's really nice because our system for delivering what we have to share is right there on Facebook too. And so it's just a real easy transition to go from, hey, you know, whatever our conversation is about, and here, check out what the benefits that LifeVantage has to offer right into the Facebook group.
Yeah, you guys, you know, people are using regular text message, they're using WhatsApp, but there's some elements to Messenger that those others don't have. So what are some of those things that you guys are using?
Do you want to take it? Go.
You gotta love the video. Video is personal. People see and hear you. They know it's real. They feel you. And in a text, you can't do that. You don't get that same connection with people. And so that's really important. That's an excellent feature that they have.
So as I tooled around in there, I started to notice that there's a planner that when you tell somebody I'm going to reconnect with you, I'm able to actually set a plan, and it goes to both them and I, and you can actually, I think it comes up like within an hour before your meeting that you're going to have with them. So you get these reminders. The voice was fantastic. In fact, something happened to me yesterday. I sent a message to a girl that I had been in contact with, and she says, I don't understand. I need a visual. So we took the video and I showed her what I meant about, you know, what we were doing right there. And she was like, oh my gosh, that helps so much. Thank you. You know, so, you know, you have that video, you have that voice to communication, and people can hear you, feel you, see you, and it's quick.
So I know you guys have had some success. Kim, you were telling us just some things that happened recently about someone that was on Messenger that you reached out to. So tell us that success story.
Yeah, so that was actually quite fabulous because it was somebody out of the UK. Hadn't talked to this guy in probably a year and a half. And I see him off to the side as I'm talking with somebody. And all I did, just out of the blue, spontaneously, I just say, hey, how you doing? And I was like, I don't know if you remember me, but I'm friends with Rachel, and started just like that conversation. He was like, oh my gosh, how have you been? And I was able during that time period to quickly go into his profile and see that he just was about to have a baby. So that's where my conversation went. So it was developing, creating that relationship again. We had already introduced this to him a year and a half ago, and he was at high noon. Had no idea that was going to happen. So we were immediately able to get him into the groups. And what's unique about this situation is that he's in the UK. I already have somebody lined up to be able to put him on Messenger with him, because it's a 6-hour difference.
Mm-hmm.
So that time difference, I don't have to try and arrange everybody to get together. They all can do it on their convenience of responding to the question or to the answers that they have. So I'm super stoked about that, because, you're not running around like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to get this person on, and then trying to connect it all. It's connected right there. You validate them right there, and they're able to take it from there.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is absolutely one of the perks of being able to use Messenger, because especially in a situation like that, it's hard. It's hard to align all of those times. And what happens is, as you're trying to make all of those schedules work, time is passing by. And we all know the importance of kind of making things happen in a timely manner. So thank you guys both for jumping on and sharing that with us. We appreciate so much your leadership and what you've added to our team, and continue to bring to the team. So thank you for your time this morning. And maybe we can
go dig up some more gems for us on social media. Let's share it with this whole group. This whole group needs to know what you guys know. So thank you guys for everything you've been doing. And we're really excited to deliver this based on the information that Kim and Travis kind of teed up for us just now, because it is another element. It's another gear for your business. And so it's all about starting conversations. On Facebook, they're like Facebook friends, and there's likes and there's comments, and we'll talk about that here. But there's a difference between a post on Facebook with comments and having a conversation with someone in Messenger. It's a different world. Mm-hmm. And so you want to just start to think, the more conversations you have, you're just going to put yourself in a better situation, right? So start conversations every day, and eventually you're going to start to see people into this funnel like Lynette was talking about in the previous unit. And so Messenger is another funnel. It's a big funnel. And you want to start paying attention on Facebook for people that are liking your content, mm-hmm. And commenting on your content. I know Lynette's been really doing this a lot lately with people that are liking stuff and then commenting, and she's getting them over on Messenger now and turning that into a real lead. Like, there's a difference between someone liking and commenting and then them wanting to participate in your business, buying the products. And so pay attention to who's liking and commenting, like and comment back, but then see if you can begin a conversation over in Messenger. And a good goal is to be able to get 1 or 2 people to have those conversations with you, like transferring them from Facebook over to Messenger. And Lynette's prepared some scripts to kind of help you guys see how that's possible for you guys to do. And just a reminder, as you're doing this, it's better to move in this process too slow than too fast, because it is about relationships. And we don't want to drag this thing on forever, but as Kim just said, she was able to quickly go on a profile, make some comments about them having a baby. A conversation was started. Before long, now they're down the funnel, right? They're moving closer and closer to making a decision.
Yeah, and you can always add to the conversation. You can't take it back. And I can tell you that I've done this recently. I had somebody that I hadn't talked to in a long, long time. And finally, we make this connection, and too quick. I shared too quick, and I knew it after I did it. And I was like, oh, I can't take it back. How do I fix it? And I found some words to try to fix what I had said. But at the end of the day, I wasn't happy with my decision to say something at that point, because you have to build rapport. You have to really, attraction marketing. We can't restate that enough. Okay, so now we're going to go over some example scripts. You guys, a lot of times people really don't know how to make the progression of somebody that they're even talking to on Messenger or Facebook to potentially having an actual phone call. You know, a lot can be accomplished with an actual phone call, even more so than Messenger. Messenger's great, but it's not even the same as a phone call. So how do you make that transition with somebody that you want to do that with? These are just a couple examples. A lot of times you have friends on Facebook, you don't even remember where they came from or how you know them or what they're about. And since we did talk about cleaning out your Facebook friends list, this is a way to either get to know somebody or clean them out. So the first one there is, hey, Tony, I guess it's about time I send you a message and introduce myself. I have a few different friends that you know and speak highly of. I look forward to getting to know you personally instead of just having you as a friend on Facebook. Doesn't that apply to a bunch of people? When you've got hundreds and thousands of friends, chances are there's people you just don't even know. So it's a great way to make an acquaintance with somebody that's already on your friends list. The next one there says, Tony, how are you? I saw you on here and wasn't sure of how we connected originally. I'm assuming we both have blank backgrounds. Either way, I try and do my best to turn Facebook friends into real friends. I think we have a bunch in common with family and business. Let me know if you're open to connecting. So
I love that one.
Isn't that nice?
I love that one.
Yeah. So these are just ways to transition. And you know, it's something that we can tweak it your own way. There's some amazing leaders out there in network marketing. Some of these are even samples of that, but you know, it's just an effective way to make that transition when maybe you're uncertain of how to do that.
So that's some powerful stuff there, guys, that she just shared. So put that to use. The next thing, guys, is creating a culture within Messenger. And when you think of a culture, we've used the word community in our trainings. And so you're going to eventually, the goal is to have a large organization. And that organization is going to take on your personality to some extent. But eventually, if you get where probably you want to be with your network marketing business, you're going to have an enormous organization, people of all ages, all around the world, different nationalities, and you have to take that into consideration. And so you want to be able to use Messenger to help you talk to each one of those groups or communities kind of individually. And so you can do that through creating different groups in Messenger, right? And the other thing, guys, is it's free. Like, you can communicate by voice or text through Wi-Fi for free, even video for free, and globally. It's got a global reach. It crosses a lot of different platforms for people. Anywhere where Facebook's available, any country where Facebook is available.
And so if you've not, yet done like kind of a group setting in Facebook Messenger, you just go at the top. There's a line of different little sections that you can choose. Click on groups. It will appear create a group, and then you can create a group where that messaging can take place amongst a couple individuals.
Yeah, and so you want to set up groups, to provide encouragement, because there's going to be some people that come to your organization that really aren't here to make much money or don't even care to make much money. And so don't you want to encourage them to keep them involved? There's going to be some people that come to your organization that are here to make a bigger mark, right? And so creating some friendly competition is fun. People did that to us as we began in our business, and it worked.
Yeah, it did.
It absolutely worked. We've got some fellow Pro 10s that we raced all the way to Pro 10 with. You can also set up groups for recognition because there is nothing like public recognition. The saying is, kids cry for it and adults will kill for it. And so your organization is no different. You need to find a platform where you can recognize them. And I think Messenger is one of those platforms. And so I want to share the screen and show what Lynette was talking about, and also show how we can set up some of these groups. All right. So let's jump into Messenger. And you'll begin to see at the top, you'll see up here, like right now, as Kim was saying, you can see how many people are active. So right now there are 344 people active, meaning they're on Messenger right now. I can message them and they would immediately see the message. You've got groups here. So that's where you're seeing right here. So here's well, I'm touching the wrong button. So here's messages, right, that are going on right now. Here's who's active. Here's my groups, and I've got calls. And then you'll see right underneath there, right here, it says create a group. And so this first one right here actually is a group that was created, I think, by Gary Stern, January Sprint. So that's a group right there for rank advancement. That group was created to get the group running to a certain rank. But all you do is you would hit create group, and then you begin to either type their name in here, or maybe their name pops up and you can just click on their names and you create the group just like that. And so there's a number of gems inside here that you just don't get on text messaging or WhatsApp. And so we're really excited for you guys to get to use these. I love the video share. I did it this morning, but I'll do it again. I'll do it live right now. Right? I'll go in here. This is the sprint for January, and I'm going to drop a video on them real quick. All right.
So you hit the camera button, right?
Yeah. Let's do it together.
Okay.
This is for Gary's group.
All right.
Okay. So we'll go live. What's up, guys? Brandon and Lynette here. We are excited to see who's going to rank advance.
Oh yeah, we're watching.
We're watching, and we're going to party with you in Indy.
Whoop whoop.
So there you go. There it is. I'll hit send, and now they have it, right? That's going to their group now. So let me stop the share because we got all kind of crazy stuff going on here. But nevertheless, that's how it works. So now that group just got that voice message right in the middle of this recording, right? But we've sent them a message, so everybody Gary had in that group is going to see that. Can you see how that really helps the culture, how you can build culture like that? Just in a few seconds, they get to see you. It brings, you're real to them, you mean something to them, and that's one of the fun things about using Messenger that you just don't get with your normal text messaging. So let's go back to our PowerPoint now. Let's go into the next slide because we just shared how you can create a video.
Well, and the one thing that when you do create one of those videos, maybe we had a couple teams or a couple groups that were shooting for, the end of the month and trying to make some rank advancements. We could have recorded that one video together and then sent it to multiple groups instead of recording 5 videos of the same message. So just another little cool tip.
Yeah, you just would make a generic video without using any specific name or group with some encouragement for the day. Like, end of the month, let's run hard, guys. Let's see who can rank advance. And then you can leverage that and send it into, you can literally communicate with thousands of people in 15 seconds.
Right.
Guys, success loves speed. So using Messenger to set up third-party validation is huge.
It is, because how many times have you tried to connect? Maybe you wanted someone specific to talk to your contact, and the schedules, you just couldn't get them to align for nothing. This is a way that you can get third-party validation, potentially from the person that you wanted to get it from, by setting up this group. And what you do, you got to go on there the same way you would a three-way call, and you would edify the person. Say, listen, so-and-so, this is who I was telling you about. This is their background. This is what they've become. Edify them and introduce who you've now brought together on that line. And then you can allow the conversations to ensue. Set it up. Tee it up for the prospect. Tee it up with edification for both parties and get the conversations underway. The great thing is, by doing it in this format, people can respond to it on their time frame, but yet days didn't pass before you were able to make that connection.
That's the point. That's when we say success loves speed. You will get third-party validation done much quicker than saying, oh, hey, Lynette, what's your schedule? Are you going to do a 3-week? Oh, I'm available on Monday. Okay, Lynette, let me get with my contact. Let's see if they're not available on Monday. What's your next day? And before long, a week has gone by. And so now if we use Messenger, it's done within 24 hours.
Yeah, and you know what? If the prospect got to a point where they're like, you know what? I love what I'm hearing, but I just want to have a conversation. This is when I can talk. Well, now you're all on the same thread and can put your schedules together without having to go back and do that whole, tag game.
Yeah, and I love using third-party validation video now. It adds another level of communication. And so you would simply set up a group, And then in that group, you can just text, hey, we're going to go on video at 8 p.m. And there's a camera up there in the group. You just hit the camera and they will start to get a notification to turn their camera on, and bingo, 3 people, 4 people or so are connected on video. And that is an insane way to validate.
So it's like a Zoom call on your cell phone, but right through Facebook Messenger. I tried it out with a couple of people. There were 5 of us on, and it was the coolest thing. But so a couple things I wanted to mention that came to mind. The video that Brandon and I just sent to that group, those videos can only be 15 seconds or less, right? But when you do what we're talking about now, it's a full-blown conversation, just like it would be on Zoom where you're seeing everybody's faces. And I love that, because don't you sometimes just want to look into somebody's eyes and get a read on their body language? That's how we function as humans. So that allows that to happen right through Facebook Messenger.
Guys, that's gold. What we just shared with you is absolute gold. Those 3-way video chats are phenomenal for your business.
And I think too, a lot of times people are intimidated by the idea of Zoom. Oh, I don't know how to get on Zoom. I don't understand it. But Facebook Messenger, people are very comfortable with that. And because you're the one kind of setting it up, it rings to their phone, they just accept it, right? Mm-hmm. So very, very cool thing to do.
Now, you can set these groups up for rank, like what we just showed you in Gary's group, trying to get some rank advancement done. You can set it up by legs of your organization, so you can communicate with one organization at a time. So that might be for travel that you're doing or incentives. You can set it up by an area. So let's say you're going to be going out of town to support a group. You can have a group there where you're just talking to your, like I'm just thinking right now, a Canadian team or a Puerto Rican team, or in Canada, it's such a big country. You may have a group for Vancouver and another group over for Toronto. It's really, really incredible what you can do with these groups and your ability to specialize the conversations so that people feel like they're actually that you're talking to them and not the whole world at one time. And so rank advancement's another one where you can go ahead of time, as Lynette just said, contact your distributors ahead of time. Don't just put them in this thing and say, hey, we're gonna really make a push for Pro 1. Do you want to hit Pro 1? And if it's yes, say we're putting together this group. If you'd like me to, I can add you to the group, and we're going to be active in this group, helping everybody in this group get to Pro 1. Do you want to be a part of that group? Yes. And you can do that for Pro 1, Pro 2, Pro 3, etc. Right? Again, if you have a small team, you may want to do this with a few people because the more people that are in these groups, the more excitement you're going to get, and the more buy-in that you're going to get in these groups that you can have in Messenger.
And the only thing I was going to add to that is a lot of times, you guys, we could have like lots of different groups going. And the reality is we have to continue to manage our time, right? So the cool thing about Facebook Messenger is you can tend to it when you want to. So maybe set aside a few times a day where you're intentional about responding to all of your Facebook Messenger, as opposed to ding, oh, I got to respond right now. Ding, I got to respond right now. Because that can become overwhelming and you might grow some animosity.
That's a really good point. That's a really, really strong point is, don't be a slave to your cell phone. This whole system has been created to do the opposite.
Exactly. But you have to manage it, right? If you allow it to call the shots, you will no longer be in control of your time. So like I said, specifically set aside a time to do that. Just pick a handful of groups that you're going to be highly proactive in. Don't commit to every person on your team. Yes, set up 100 groups. I'm in all of them. You can be, but then let them know, listen, I'm only going to be super, super highly active in this little group of them because we're human, right? So we've got to manage our time.
You're kind of superhuman. I've kind of seen that. So guys, we hope you enjoyed this portion of our training for Messenger and mastering Messenger. It is a phenomenal way to grow your business. And just remember, the person that starts the most conversations wins. And we hope that you can go out today immediately and implement this in your business. And so we've got another unit coming to you next, some pro tips that is probably going to be a unit that we're going to continue to update, wouldn't you
I
say?
think so, because it's really just little things that maybe we didn't mention yet. And we're like, that really should be mentioned. And so as we gather more and more tools of the trade, it'll probably just be a constant revision.
Yeah, and as things change in Facebook and as things change in social media,
Right.
as the pro tips change, we'll continue to bring that to you guys. We've loved being able to deliver this information to you, and we hope that you guys will take it and run with it.
Absolutely.
Have a good day.